I'ma drug them out and pimp them out to my niggas. They keep fucking with me. And he was talking about Danny D. Kane as a group. He didn't single out any one of them. But to hear that he did it, that shit is crazy to me.
When Jaguar Wright started breaking down the so-called new Diddy documentary, she wasn't impressed at all. She made it clear from jump that almost nothing in there surprised her, because she's been watching this whole situation from the shadows for years. To her, most of it was recycled info she already knew. Nothing groundbreaking, nothing brave. But then came that moment, the one part that actually made her pause, and it hit viewers hard too. For people watching for the first time, this was the jaw-dropper they didn't see coming.
Kirk Burrow was saying at the end of episode 4 when he first, dropped the bomb, that he had been essayed by Diddy. It's Kirk Burrows.
Yeah.
Who has been there since the beginning.
Kirk Burrows stepped forward and openly said that he was abused by Diddy, and that statement landed heavy. This wasn't some rumor or secondhand story. This was someone saying it straight up, no filters, no dodging. And what really raised eyebrows was Gene Deal's reaction. This is someone who's already seen Diddy's darkest behavior over the years. Yet, even he was left stunned and quiet after hearing what happened to Kirk. Here's why this matters so much. Kirk isn't some outsider guessing from the sidelines. He was right there more than 30 years ago inside the circle during Diddy's earliest rise. He knew him personally, watched him closely, and saw how things really move behind closed doors. That's why Jaguar says Kirk isn't adding noise. He's confirming whispers that people have been scared to say out loud for decades. She also pointed out that the documentary skipped over major details about Diddy's early life and background. In her eyes, those gaps weren't accidental at all. She believes a lot was twisted or left out to keep his public image looking polished back then, when the truth was far messier.
I didn't think nothing of it, that he was spending the night with Kirk Burrows either every Wednesday night. He got a whole girl at home, but he's spending the night with Kirk Burrows. He's staying at Kirk's house. I'm like, yo, all right, cool. Didn't think nothing of it. And then Kirk had made a mention to some people over the years that him and Puff used to wake up and pray together. And I'm, in my mind, I know he's talking about saying prayers and all that shit like that. But in my other mind, I'm thinking you waking up with a dude praying? Shit is going on. Then there was a situation that somebody said long time ago in the office. They caught Kirk giving Puff in the office.
Jaguar didn't stop there, and this is where things got uncomfortable fast. She said she's always believed Diddy was a victim at some point too, possibly early in life, especially looking at the reckless, neglectful lifestyles of his parents. That kind of chaos doesn't come out of nowhere. She brought up Diddy's father, the same man he admired growing up. That story didn't end heroic at all. He was a hustler who got caught up in the streets, turned informant, and died violently.
He showed telling the world now. He telling the world now he's forced to do this.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out why he didn't come out sooner. He also alleging that Diddy, forced him to give him jobs.
Oh my God. So you telling me that in the lawsuit, and I seen it, man, that he forced him to sing in the mic. And it wasn't in the studio.
Yeah, that's what he claiming.
Yo, bro, it's crazy. It's real crazy that Kirk is alleging all these things that people always said back then. I remember when me and you had a conversation about this years ago, and you asked me, was I going to talk about it? I said, no, I'm not going to talk about it because I'm going to let him talk about it. I didn't know he was going to do this lawsuit and put this shit in there. But I told you years ago that I'm not going to talk about it until he talks about it.
That's not just trauma, that's a blueprint for damage. According to Jaguar, when you mix that kind of family history with the environment, the movies, and nonstop pressure to be powerful, you get someone who starts believing rules don't apply to them. And she says Diddy's behavior backs that up completely. She also pointed out something massive in the documentary that most people slept on. Diddy wasn't just reacting to trouble, He was already playing defense in advance. Long before any arrest, he was trying to shape how future jurors might think.
He said people keep pretending like all of this stuff that they hear about Diddy is something that's new. He's been doing these things. He's a witness to offenses that happened over 30 years ago.
The wildest part of the documentary proves it. Diddy was recording everything. When federal agents showed up near his hotel, he didn't panic, didn't duck, didn't hide. He pulled the camera out and started filming them. Jaguar says that wasn't random at all. In her eyes, that was classic Diddy behavior. Full control mode. She believes he was planning his own documentary, painting himself as the hero of the story. But what really shocked her wasn't that he was filming. It was what Diddy and his lawyers were saying while those cameras were rolling.
Kind of interesting. They said he didn't smoke and he didn't drink, but throughout all the Biggie's promo, every time you saw him, he had a bottle of champagne. They was drinking Moet all of the time. You know, so I guess they don't consider cases of champagne and everybody having their own bottle and drinking out of their own bottle like it was a 40 ounce. I guess they don't consider that drinking, but I mean, I digress.
There was a part where he was going back and forth with Andre Harrell and he was saying, I'm gonna be drunk and high by Wednesday. I don't know. So I'm like, it seemed like the shift happened quickly when it comes to being introduced into this thing, you know, into this industry. So he's technically he might be a.
So when you strip it all down, Jaguar says Diddy was trying to control the narrative before anything even officially happened. That's not confidence. That's dangerous. When someone with that much money and influence starts shaping public opinion before a trial even exists.
I believe that he was victimized, and I think it happened long before the industry. You know, people really don't want to look closer into his childhood and to what his mama had going on in that house. God knows what he saw and what happened to him in his own mama house. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, you know, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say, for her after-hour life.
Oh yeah. He was. I'm gonna say he was surprised to hear that.
School bus driver. No, was he surprised or was he like, zip it, you talking too much? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like you talking a little bit too much. They don't need to know about that. While she was sitting up there, oh, because I was a bus driver and I was this, and I worked at the after hours. And I would pour them drinks and they would give me big tips.
She did say it just like that. Big tips. You know, in
big tip and spending sheets.
In Sean's own words, in Diddy's own words, he had said he had a sigh of relief learning that he was the son of a hustler or a gangster. Like he wanted that status. He wanted to say that he was a sigh of relief is a wild thing to say, that your daddy was a gangster or a hustler, or that's what you heard that he was.
Well, I mean, like Tim said, they had a bunch of blaxploitation movies being played around the house all the time. They grew up with the Mac playing. They grew up with Superfly playing. Like, I mean, if that's what you got going on, you got two women in the house and there's no men around, and these are what the little boys are watching. You got basketball players coming over late at night. You got hustlers coming over, PIMPs coming over, women who look like they were modeling for Jet magazine coming over. Like, it sounds like the nature of the environment is what shaped their perception of what cool was. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure for him it was, oh man, that's who my dad.
Justice already walks in wounded. She breaks it down in plain terms, and it's ugly. You can't go to the boss because the boss might be the one hurting you. And you can't go to the police if they're paid off. Even when a solid prosecutor steps in, she says they can suddenly be reassigned, removed, or silenced. Meanwhile, powerful people move chess pieces behind the scenes however they want.
The fact that that they have this footage and however they got it, the fact that it exists is like, Diddy, why would you even start recording this? Like, why would you even give us this leverage to even put this thing out? Please give us some tips. Well, yeah, I wouldn't call it leverage, but go ahead.
Well, the whole point of him filming this whole thing was because I'm sure that he planned on doing his own documentary. This is an extreme narcissist you're talking about. Extreme. He's sitting there with feds an eye shot away from his hotel suite, filming his hotel room. And he's looking at them and he's filming them right back. He's literally saying in certain parts, yeah. Make sure you're filming all of this because we need to get some, some cutaway shots.
That's wild. That's wild.
No, he was literally, did nobody pay attention to that?
Oh, I saw it.
Like he said, yeah. Make sure you're filming all of this. We need this for cutaways. Like you're sitting here collecting footage, like a director, like an AD.
Then Jaguar drew a comparison that made people real uncomfortable. She pointed out how the stampede Diddy caused at a college basketball game back in 1991 mirrors what later happened at Travis Scott's Astroworld. Different eras, same chaos, same lack of accountability. Her warning was clear. People should be extremely cautious around anyone who works this hard to dodge responsibility and financial liability. Gene Deal has spoken about that college tragedy before, and his recollection is chilling.
You've got a lawyer like Mark Agnafilo who is orchestrating your possible surrender because, as you heard him say in the beginning of the documentary, he was very clear. It's almost the middle of September and there's no indictment. As you heard Diddy say, I've been an exemplary client like you've asked. You said I've been an excellent client. I came here. I did everything you asked me to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're literally having this conversation.
Yeah, in that conversation, Diddy was worried about the outlook of the public versus the victims.
The outlook of the public? Oh, he was worried a lot more than that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think? He literally sat there and said, we need comms. He's sitting there talking like an evil dictator. We need comms. We need a way into this conversation. We're losing, he said. We're losing. Losing what?
Come on.
What were you losing? But the key words that he said that were so important were, we need to be able to be speaking to the potential jurors.
What stands out most isn't just the chaos, it's the cold reaction from Diddy and his inner circle. According to Gene, there was a disturbing level of apathy toward people who were literally dying because of the situation they created. Jaguar also explained why real consequences never landed. Nobody faced serious punishment for the City College incident. Instead, Diddy made a strategic move early on, putting Bad Boy in his mother's name, making sure those assets could never be touched. Jaguar said straight up that this wasn't accidental at all. It was a calculated strategy to dodge lawsuits down the line. This wasn't about protection, it was about insulation. Lock the money up early, stay untouchable later.
I'd only be the guy that watches CNN, but there's 9 billion people in the world, and 7 billion of them are on Instagram or TikTok. We need to have control of that. He said we need to know how these potential jurors are thinking.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said.
Facts.
So what does that mean? He hadn't even been arrested yet. He hadn't even been taken into custody yet. Damian Williams hadn't come forward yet with a list of the charges that they were charging him with and what they were taking him to trial for. That didn't happen until December.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, they were losing. Losing what? Losing at what? We need to have control of comms. We need to make sure that we know how the potential jurors are thinking.
Very true.
How does that not sound like anything other than what it is? They were looking to infect the jury pool as early as possible. They were hoping to infect the jury pool, to see a lawyer sitting on the phone, having a conversation with a man who was about to be charged with some of the most heinous acts.
Then she zoomed out and brought the government into it, and this is where it gets real uncomfortable. She said the feds don't miss moves this big, ever. She compared it to Al Capone.
His business in his mother's name, and the U.S. attorneys trying to go after RICO that he used his business as an enterprise to do these sexual deviant things.
Yeah.
Technically, if he's just getting, let's say, small payments from his mom, he's not technically using the business. Do you think that they barked up the wrong tree to even lose this trial based on him saying that, hey, I'm not even the owner of Bad Boy. I'm just let's say, an employee who just gets payments to do little small things. Shouldn't they have realized that or noticed all right, we can't trace the money back to the owner of Bad Boy?
Well, see, that's the thing. That was for Kurt Burrow's case. What about now? Because Combs Enterprise, all of it is not owned by Janice Combs. His name is on stuff. A lot of stuff. A lot of these things that happen, it's not back then it was Bad Boy. Combs Enterprise, there's a bunch of different stuff that falls up underneath that umbrella. And it ain't all in Janice's, it's not all in Janice's name. It's not. Good portion of it is, but not all. People have to be weary about anybody who goes through this much trouble to evade responsibility and financial liability. Because even if it's not all in his name, even if it isn't all him, even if it were all in his mother's name, then that would mean that his mother is the one that's running the criminal organization, and she's been aiding and abetting his very sick behavior for decades.
Hey.
It sounds like they should have made sure that she was added to everything. If that's the case. Because if he's just an employee and he's just being paid for his services, then that means that all of this stuff was going on up underneath her nose, and there's no way she didn't know about it. She was involved and present for too much.
Everybody knew Capone was dirty, but they didn't charge him for everything because doing that would have exposed just how deep the corruption ran. So instead, they clipped him on taxes. According to Jaguar, that same playbook still exists today. Massive stories get cleaned up, softened, or rerouted to protect powerful people and the systems tied to them. That's why she raised eyebrows at what the documentary didn't say. Two huge names with long, well-known ties to Diddy, Jay-Z, and Clive Davis weren't mentioned at all. These are major industry figures who worked closely with him for years. Yet the silence was loud.
Wasn't mentioned at all in any of this documentary.
Yet
he was there for so much of it. Because right after the diddler beat the crap out of Steve Stout, the Jigga Man poked up on Rivera. Not long after that. All of this stuff happened around the same time.
Why do you think Jay-Z wasn't involved in none of this?
Well, I mean, he was involved in a lot of it. You mean, why wasn't he mentioned?
Yeah, mentioned in the documentary at all.
I mean, there was a lot of people that weren't mentioned. Matter of fact, not too many people in the industry were mentioned who were there and present. Isn't that cute?
Very true.
They found a way to tell that story while they kept everybody.
Jaguar wasn't buying it. She believes leaving them out wasn't oversight, it was intentional. She also called out the way history was barely touched. The documentary skimmed right past the real reason the East Coast versus West Coast beef kicked off. In her view, that war wasn't about entire regions at all. She said it was really a power struggle between Diddy and Sugi, and everyone else got dragged into it.
You had an issue with the way Diddy was treating him, right?
I just think Puff, he needs to be a stand-up man, man. That dude just sat up there and did that time for you or nothing like that. Then you got this man living down there in police, living all fucking bad, man. You seem like you just leave your people for dead, man. Shit wrong, dude. Gene Deal complaining about you. I'm complaining about you. I heard one of my homies from 30s. I heard he get every quarter he get clothes, all this shit. Then you gave this other dude a brand new Benzo or Maybach, another piece of the rec company. God damn, homie. I was on top of the world till I met your motherfucker ass, dude. Shit is wrong, dude. Come on, homie. I need something. Throw a dog a bone or something. Sit up there talking about you, daddy love. Show us some love. Man, you know what I'm saying? There's ways around that, homie. Throw my kids something. Throw somebody kids something. God damn. Daddy love. You ain't no love. That ain't love at all. That's some bull. That ain't cool, dude. You know what I'm saying? Swear, man. Gene Deal, Sean, Keefy D, just everybody, man. God damn. You just leave bad tastes in everybody's mouth, man. Come on, homie. Damn. You forgot where you come from. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm like some grass and shit. You know I was in jail. Nigga ain't throw a nigga noodle. What you call that shit? Just put the hot water on, man. God damn. Yeah. Life ain't been the same, bro. Man, shit, I was getting 300 kilos a month, man. Balling, man. Didn't nobody know about me. My shit was smooth, dude. My shit was laid out smooth, man. I met your motherfucker and all the heat and thunder coming around with your motherfucker.
Jaguar also said the documentary barely scratched the surface when it came to Diddy's ties to Zip and the Crips, and it definitely didn't dig deep enough into the Tupac murder. And speaking of Tupac, there's been a serious development in that case that a lot of people aren't talking about enough. The main suspect, Keef D, has publicly asked Diddy to show him support after claiming he played a role in helping Diddy deal with Pac. That alone raised eyebrows everywhere. Whether people believe it or not, that statement added a whole new layer of pressure to an already explosive situation.
I'ma drug them out and pimp them out to my niggas. They keep fucking with me. And he was talking about Danny Kane as a group. He didn't single out any one of them. But to hear that he did it, that shit is crazy to me. We had a big argument and we started talking about each other and what niggas had and what he didn't have. He was calling me, yo, you broke cop. This like, nigga, you ain't got nothing I ain't got. I got a watch, you got a watch. I got a ring, you got a ring, I got a chain, I got a home. We went through that whole shit like that. I started talking about his teeth. You understand? I started talking about, him, his breath, everything. We was going at each other. That next day at his house, he said, yo, Gene, he called me upstairs. And he said, yo, Gene, I couldn't talk to him like that no more in front of people and everything like that. Because I know me and Puff go back from the same gang since 89, 90 when he got jumped in it. You understand? We go back way to that time. So I knew him. You understand? He was like a little nephew. So when he started talking that shit to me, I said, yo, listen here, bro. You don't say shit about me, I won't say shit about you. If you say something, you open up your mouth about me, I'm going to talk about all your green dentures and all that shit like that. We're not playing them games, bro. Monty, do you understand what I'm saying? I heard him say that he was going to drug them out and pimp them out to his niggas. And then to hear the text message that she was drugged out and he was having sex, that shit hurts, bro. That shit is fucked up. Do you know how fucked up that is, bro? I heard this nigga say this shit out of his mouth. But to know that he was doing it, that shit was crazy to me. It makes you feel sick, bro. Because I guess I wasn't looking for it. But to see her pain and to see that she had to experience some shit like that, bro, and then the nigga was doing a lot of that shit right under your nose when the days that you wasn't working, or the days that you left early or you wasn't around. This shit is crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro, because he know I wasn't that type of dude. You understand? And he tries everybody. He tries everybody.
And that's not even the only thing flying under the radar. The documentary dropped other major revelations that didn't get nearly enough attention. One big example is the Aubrey O'Day allegations. Her comments in the documentary already stirred the pot, but Gene Deal didn't sugarcoat a single thing when he talked about what he remembered regarding her statements. Seeing more people come forward now, Gene said the entire situation made him feel sick, and he's clearly not alone. The allegations piling up against Diddy are disturbing at a basic human level if they're true, and that's putting it lightly. This really might be the end of Diddy as the public has known him for decades. But now it's your turn. What do you think about everything coming out right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. It helps a lot. Don't miss what's coming next.